Hello, hello. Good afternoon for all of those in the US, of course. Today, I'm rocking my Amazon developer t shirt. I just come across this on Amazon. I was so stoked because I am truly a tech geek at heart. Did you know that I even got my computer science degree? Yeah, I did. I actually started my career in QA. And when I got laid off 9/11, at the time I was asked if I wanted to be in recruiting and I thought they were crazy. I was actually kind of insulted when they asked me that. But you know what? Everything turns out perfectly well. I am where I should be and I've been in the tech recruiting industry for over 2 decades. I've led multiple international team for 90% of the FAANG company, including Microsoft. If we're meeting for the first time though, my name is Holly Lee. I do live stream every single week for you guys. It is free to watch. Generally, I would have the first 30 minutes for free for you to drop your comment. But each time when I have to make a presentation or wanted to chat about, such as today, career planning goal for 2022, I wanted to just focus on the member only. The difference between that is supporting my work. Thank you very much. You guys are the reason why I am here. And if you are brand spanking new, make sure you hit subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting on? Give me a thumbs up in the emoji because YouTube really likes that. I'm not really sure why. Okay, so let's get this show going. Oh, and before I forget, I made a mental note because I often always forget. Download the star template, especially when you are new. I know that many of you guys have your upcoming Amazon interview. I'm beginning to get more Google. Yes, I'm beginning to get Microsoft. Hell yes. I said FAANG. Okay, FAANG also includes or Matang. I don't know. I can't rebrand myself that often because I feel like the between the FAANG and the Mang and the Matang, I'm just gonna call it FAANG. Just in the month of December alone, I was able to help a senior product leader land a position at Microsoft, a senior program manager land a role at Microsoft, a senior director of engineering land a job at Google. If you missed that endorsement, it's on my LinkedIn. If you wanted to connect with me, I am right here. I'm just Holly Lee on LinkedIn. Aside from that, I'm just excited to be here today. There's a lot of job offers for December. That's also letting me know as a coach that the market is still very, very hot. If you guys even think about, oh my God, my interview is tomorrow, can you please give me a quick tip? Please, for the love of God, stop that. There's no such thing. Other coaches may be different from me, but listen, guys, you are tuning in my video podcast every single week, and you've seen some of my video. You know how transparent I am. I spent 20 years in all of these companies, and one of the most recent one was 7 years at Amazon. I know how these big players work. I don't know how other people coaches, but if you're gonna jump on the phone with me for 1 hour and expect to get a job, it's really slim. I'm being very transparent here. Yes, although in my private coaching, even so, it takes multiple sections. Okay. I'm a tough interviewer. I train interview training on top of a talent leader for Amazon, for Google, for Facebook, for Microsoft. I was a leader in all of those companies and I also helped them build or contribute in the interview process as well. That's why I am sharing with you a lot of the knowledge and trying to speed things up quicker for you. There ain't no one that can speed the level that I'm speeding for you, but you have to demonstrate a couple key points. One, your listening skill, because a lot of people they cringe. They hate the word interview prep. I can see you trick. I could see you. I could see you. I could see you doing this. Okay. If I were to say the word resume, you see that? I caught you. So you have to be able to be uncomfortable in order to land your dream position. Notice I didn't say dream job, dream position. Okay. So that's why I wanted to focus a little bit on how to help you set your career planning. You don't need to take note. I am going to remake this video into a better version and add in more detail in the content for you sometime over the weekend. I am supposed to have a whole deck ready for you as well. I make many promises these days, but because of COVID, my son's daycare have quite a number of cases, and daycare was actually shut down for the last 2 weeks. They just came back this week. Knock on wood, everyone is okay. But because of being around my toddler, I wasn't being able to give you the deck that I was supposed to present, but I do have something here and I wanted to go through and kind of guide you a little bit to get your feet wet and think a little bit. For starter, if you are just say yes or no, that's all I wanted to hear. Do you have a clear career goal for 2022? In the comment below, say yes or no. And I'm looking at your comments right now. Okay. Yulia, hello, Yulia. Ghost Rider, welcome back. Kathy. Cheers. And if you have a questions for me, please put the giant Q in front of your questions so I can go to them quickly. Okay. So, yes, you know what your career goal is, or no, you do not know. The reason is that I get a lot of your questions, the same thing on my live chat, on LinkedIn, on via email. But my number one response is, why can't you cancel your interview if you're telling me that you don't even know how to create your answer? You don't have any tangible ROI. And worse, there's quite a few, even director level, that's asking me, Holly, what is ROI? If you have to ask me that, you are not ready because the interviewer would ask you, what is your ROI? What is your business impact? What exactly did you contribute? If you're struggling right now in this just basic interview questions, you're not ready. I feel sometimes that I want to apologize upfront that you like to hear me yelling at you by repeating myself 1,000 times in this live stream as well as in my LinkedIn messages. Same thing, same person, same message. That's what I mean by your listening skill professional. Okay, it's key component. All right, now I need 5 minutes of your attention because you really need to hear this part. And when I have the beginning part of the webinar is because of all the hundreds of messages that I go through almost every single night in answering all of your messages via LinkedIn. Number one, what is career goal setting and why am I even having this conversation with you? It is because you are really struggling in a career transition and you're very lost. Say I, if this represents you, you're really confused. You don't know how to get from A to Z. A to Z meaning I want to work for Amazon. I want to work for Tesla. I want to work for the Google of the world. I don't know how. Am I good enough? Do I have relevant experience? I come from a banking industry. I come from manufacturing. I come from biotech. By the way, they're all my customers. I can go on, but I'm not sure if I'm good enough. I'm not sure if I have relevant experience. Of course you do. If you don't have relevant experience, you're already an executive at all these companies. Just because you're from a different industry does not make you not qualify, right? At the end, it has to do with I want to talk about goal setting because I want to help you drag every single pieces of your experiences out so that you can remember all the great things that you have done. Okay? So here's step number one. The step number one is I want you to one, stop, pause. Let's just pause time out for a second. Don't ask me a quick interview tip in the live chat. I want you to just stare at the beautiful monitor in front of you right now. And I want you to just close your eyes. Don't cheat because I can see your chat coming in, okay? I want you to visualize yourself being in the number one company you want to work with. It doesn't even matter what company that is. I want you to see yourself there. Okay? Now that you are there, I want you to just type it in. Type in the live chat. I'm dying to hear from you. What exactly are you doing? Don't tell me you are, you are a software manager. That's great. What are you doing? Let me give you an example, okay? I'm just throwing it out there and literally making this up. If I'm getting a lot of product manager and product leader lately. I'm not sure why. I would simply just say, I see myself working at Google. Actually, that's not a good example. This is a better example because I something is telling me that Amazon is launching something else that's coming up because they always do launches every single week. I want to be a senior product manager for Amazon, and I wanted to work on Amazon Prime because I want to focus on the new product line initiative on increasing the 2 hour Prime delivery service shorter, maybe an hour or half an hour, and how to leverage that with the third party logistic vendor and cross functional team within Amazon. Be very, very specific. Okay. Once you have the visualization, the reason why all of you guys are asking me the same question, Holly, I'm not sure. Is it true? The recruiter tell me this. Is it true that, I have the first phone screen and then I have the on-site? The question you're asking me is very, very basic that you can get at amazon.com/career. By the way, all of the things that I just talked to you about, it's in my description of every single video. All you have to do is click on it. Please, people, do not pay hundreds of dollars. It's cheap, right? If you're going to buy a program, buy something for what, $99, $150, it's cheap. Why are you even paying $99? I don't care. $50. I even saw like $45 on the World Wide Web so that you can learn the Amazon interview process, so you can learn what the LP is. Why? It's free. It is free. This is what I mean. By 2022, I wanted to provide you with all the resources, the first version of everything I do, like this. It's free. It's completely free. Okay. Just today alone, I read through 8 different messages and I've asked them to come in and share their job offer announcement for free, guys. Okay. So, one, what did we learn? Visualization. If you cannot believe, if you cannot see that you're actually working with company like Tesla, I'm throwing it out there, okay? Because I feel like no one's talking about Tesla. Tesla's doing some amazing stuff with automotive right now that I felt like they're very quiet on my channel specifically. A lot of people are going through automotive. Let's just say that you're there. What exactly are you doing? What are you building? And why do you want to work there? I want you to just visualize. Okay. The second thing is you want to get down so specific that you're going to carve out in detail what you will be doing, because why, professionals? When you are specific, suddenly you have authority and you have credibility. When you're not specific in anything you say, okay? You will sound so general, like the sky is blue today. Okay? I am sharing this not because I come from recruiting experience. No, not because I work for all these FAANG companies. No, it's from you guys. It's because I spent the last 3 years of being able to coach 300 to 400 my own personal clients, either private coaching or my VIP coaching cohort. And this is what I know that works. Everyone is so generic. It's not your fault. Sometimes what you don't know. I'm telling you this right now. If you're not specific with your example and your execution, you will sound like everyone else. And mentally, the employer is already checked out before they even start interviewing you. Okay. So what did we learn? Be very specific. The next thing is timeline. When you go set, here's what I do. You don't need to go buy any fancy journaling or anything. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But how I was able to do that, I quit my a great job with Oculus AR VR, now Meta Facebook, right? When I quit my job, before I quit my job, I planned it the entire year, guys. So you can't come to me and expect me to have a magic wand and say, Holly, what is a quick tip for me to ace my Amazon job interview, my Google interview, my Facebook interview? Do you guys hear where I'm going here? Literally everyone is asking me for a quick tip. If I share screen and show you all these messages on my LinkedIn, you will be floored. So guys, I don't know. I don't know what is going on. Maybe too much wine for you on New Year's Eve. I want you to change your mindset and your mentality right away, because my goal is to help you land to true happiness in doing the things that you love. But the first step is I want you to get serious with yourself, okay? Serious. And I'm not talking about people who don't have any work experience. I'm talking about executive. I'm talking about people with the director titles, with the VP title. I'm also talking about people already at Google reaching out to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, I can't. And I can't jump in a 1 hour conversation so you can learn more about me. I'm literally all over the entire internet. My team and I have worked really hard in the last 2 years to make sure, if that's not good enough, I'm live streaming for you right now so that you can have a taste of who I am as a coach. So you know exactly the type of people I've helped in the type of company and the type of skill set across all of my endorsement on LinkedIn, my business sites, multiple sites, and on YouTube as well. I have an endorsement video. Why I'm sharing this with you, professional, is that I am a little frantic. I mean, I'm pumped up because yes, it's 2022, but the type of questions that you're asking me, keep this in mind. If you're in an interview setting, would you be behaving that way? It's no, right? If you're not going to behave that way, I want you all to change your mentality right off the bat, because no one is going to tell you that but me. Okay. And I am a true believer. The preview of how you act is exactly who you are. So you need to cut it out. It requires a lot of hard work. Creating a timeline creates routine. Also, holds yourself accountable for things. And I'm really bummed because just in 2021 alone, indeed, I have a lot of people who end up with FAANG. Some people chose not to be in FAANG. I have a couple, not often, but every now and then I'll have, like one of you guys who reach out to me. They all came from finding me on YouTube. Holly, I don't know if I'm ready to sign up for your VIP coaching program because not 100% of your endorsement are from Amazon. I'm very confused. Again, everyone is very, very different. Just because you have an Amazon offer and a startup offer, for example, doesn't mean that that professional wants to be a small feet, a small feet, a small fish in a big pond. Sometimes they want to be big fish in a small pond. Okay, meaning that they wanted to have like the VP title working for a startup versus like a level 6 at an Amazon. Okay. So I challenge you guys to think outside of the box and be creative and innovative. Okay. I'm saying that because literally every single one of my messages are so much similar, which means in my VIP coaching cohort alone, they're also very familiar, the same type of mindset. Do you guys see where I'm going? So, with that in mind, you have to really carve out your goal setting to visuality. I can't talk. Visuality to be very clear and concise exactly what you're doing. You need to create a timeline, and I highly encourage you to do it week by week. I know it sounds really boring, but guys, this is your career. Do you want it or do you not? The question is very simple. Yeah. If you're with me, please say yes. I agree with you, Holly, on all those words because I feel like a lot of you guys want to hear me repeat myself, but you're not taking what I'm sharing with you with a grain of salt and actually implement. Listen and implement. Okay? That's all you have to do. And it's really daunting to me that, I'm not sure if you guys have done any research on Google because google.com is our very best friend. Google will tell you anything, any information you need. I usually do a search every single year. I haven't done it the last 2 years for the obvious reason because a lot of people have been laid off, right? But even right before the pandemic in 2019, the most recent one, in 2017, 2015, the workplace statistic shows that 90% of the people in the world just choose to settle because they don't want to do anything about their career, but yet they're complaining. They're complaining for career growth, lack of money, and all these reasons, but they're not willing to do the work. But in this channel, I must have done something right because the 4,000 people who's able to land a job for free, literally, it's in my endorsement. They said that all we do is we show up, we sign up for your pay YouTube member. By the way, it's only $3.99 a month. You answer all of our questions. We follow every single one of your template. By the way, they're all free, right? Come on, guys, they're all free. And I made a specific playlist for its purposes in helping you how to land a job, how to create your story, how to ace it. I'm even telling you who to partner with to do mock interview, someone who's better than you and in the same skill set, not industry, but skill set. Okay. So a lot of those folks basically just follow every single thing that I've said and able to land jobs. Jobs, people. Okay. Every now and then when I get negative feedback, it makes me kind of scratch my head a little bit. I'm like, did you look at the thumbnail, did you actually click on it? Well, rather than you speeding through everything, did you actually look at it? To make your life easier, I actually went in with my team and timestamp every single live stream, by the way. We do. It takes us 2 hours after a 2 hour of live stream to do that for you, and yet people are still complaining. So in the third point, I want to talk about negative thoughts and negative noises around us for 2022. You all have to shut up all those noises because your friends, your colleagues, whomever it is that's giving you any negative feedback or comment doesn't add value to where you're going to. They're not you. They don't know what is best for you. Sometimes you yourself don't know what is best for you, and that's absolutely okay. So I'm telling you this, professional, you have to set your goal and plan it right now, like today. Okay? And here's what you do. The first thing you do, here's two way. Here's a free version. The free version is you're going to buy I'm pretty sure you guys have notebooks laying around your house. I got this off of Amazon. Oh, can you see it? You don't have to, but it's really pretty. It's a lot of green, very colorful. I want to have just a plain book, a plain notebook that cost me $9.99, by the way, because I want something to be inspirational that I want to write in it. So I just don't want a plain notebook, whatever rocks your boat. But you need to create week by week. For example, this is a month of January, right? January, week 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Simple, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. When you are starting to write your journaling and goal setting in your notepad, be very specific. This week, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this thing called evaluating my resume. I know, don't cringe at me. I see you rolling your eyes on me. Stop it. Just stop it. Just do it. Okay? Week 1. I am literally giving you every single thing in my VIP coaching and my Star Interview Accelerator right here, guys. Week 1. I want you to look at it and I want you to evaluate your credential. Everyone is going to have it in back of their head. I don't know if this makes sense. How am I supposed to do this? Is this good enough? You're going to do all of that. And then half of you are going to go and hire a resume writer to do it for you. So go ahead, smack your hand. Don't do that. They don't have your experience. And I don't want to say this. I don't know if they know what they're doing. Okay. I have 21 years of recruiting leadership experience. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. I know what I'm doing for the last 3 years when I've become a coach and created interview masterclass, such as the VIP coaching. And that's how I was able to help you because now I know what works. Okay. So you need to do your own work, professional. If you don't put the effort of carving and thoughtfully think through everything that you've done, what's going to happen is that even if you're able to land the next job, the problem that you're running away from in job number 1 could be in job number 2. Okay? If I'm making sense to you, can you please say yes, you're making sense to me? That's it. I just want to hear that you guys are still with me. Yes, purple. Listen and implement. Shut out all the negative. Yes, yes, yes. Okay? Another thing is that when you create week over week, first of all, you do 12 months of the year, January, February, March, so on and so forth. And then within those months, I need to see 4 columns week over week because week over week, you should hold yourself accountable. This week, I'm going to redo my entire resume. Next week, we do my entire LinkedIn. Next week, I'm going to look at it and start carving out stories. Don't worry about what does Amazon look for? What does Google look for? Because guys, here's a top secret. They're all asking the same type of interview question. You're a technical person? Awesome. They're all asking the same type of questions. You're in leadership? Great. They're all asking the same type of questions. You're an intern? All right. Awesome. Welcome, intern and new graduates. The question they're asking is very, very simpler. Just don't, the expectation for someone who's more junior, your answer is not at the high level, or they're not asking to create a roadmap for the remainder of the year because you don't have any experience. Okay. But the type of questions are so similar. I want you guys to just really be good to yourself and do it. Just do it. Okay. I feel like I'm having a challenge getting people to be motivated. Not all of you, but some of them do. And I want that audience to listen to me very carefully right now in the serious goal setting live stream. The 2 type of journaling I would recommend, and I'll put a link in the description later on. And don't worry, you don't have to take note. I'm actually going to put a lot of resources in teaching you step by step how to goal plan. And that video is going to go out at the latest by early next week. But there's 2 types of journaling I would highly recommend. And the price is anywhere between $20 and $40. Okay. One is called the Passion Planner, which is something that I have right here. I love the Passion Planner. Ooh, sorry guys. Oops, everything is falling apart. And I just unplugged myself. There you go. This is a Passion Planner, by the way, guys, right here. Okay. This is a Passion Planner. It's very, very detailed. You actually go back. And even without the Passion Planner, when you're done doing your week to week and month to month, you always want to go back at least once a month to look at week over week. What is your accomplishment? Because how else are you going to find inspiration and continuing to motivate yourself. Okay. Sure, you can go YouTube it. You can look for a lot of inspirational stuff or come and watch me yell at my audience. But you need to find the inner peace and be so good to yourself because, guys, the law of attraction, the universe, I know I'm being very cheesy right now, but I'm a true fan of the universe will align you to the right opportunity when you are there. So mentally, I need you to be there, which leads me of the second recommendation. It's called the Law of Attraction 90-day planner. Okay. Yeah, really. I'm surprised that I found that on Amazon. It's called Law of Attraction 90-day. When you guys go plan for 2022, I will not recommend planning out long-term goal. I would highly recommend you focus on now. Okay? Right now, guys. Now. We're not talking about 5 year. We're talking about today. I like the 90-day because within 90 days, you should be interview ready. 90 days, which is why I have the 90-day VIP coaching. Okay. You should not need any longer than that. If you want the regular planner, it's you could definitely go on, but still, whatever planner you chose to get, please focus on the first 3 months and give yourself a target. Okay. You always have a timeline for things and when you want to get them done. Let me know if you guys have questions of what I just said. It's really important for you guys to have clarity on what you want to do and how you should plan your goal, because if you don't have that professional, it's very, very dangerous. um Not stepping foot in and keep on taking interviewed, keep on failing interviewed, not knowing if it's the right fit for you, but yet you keep on repeating the same pattern over and over again. Okay, you see this candle that I'm burning right here is extremely calming. For me to go through everything that I just mentioned on goal planning, I went through my own I took my own advice, and just meditation with a candle like this really put your mind at ease so you can think straight. You need to be extremely vulnerable, guys, vulnerable with yourself. Okay, don't think, well, I'm a director, or I'm an executive here. I actually have someone reach out to me who is an IC that has about 10 years, different companies. But if I look at this individual's background, this person is probably a senior level. I don't want to talk about position title or anything. Just say a senior level, a level 6, like an Amazon. But when they reach out to me, they want to be a director. And I'm like, what? You can't just wake up one day from an IC of, let's just say, 10 years to be a director. It doesn't happen that way. What is your journey to get there? And how are you going to be able to deliver your message at scale so that you can land even a level 6 offer like an Amazon? Okay? So let's focus on some Q&A. I hope you all are having a fantastic New Year's, by the way. Yes, Happy New Year's. I am back and I am going to answer all of your questions today. This is member mode. It's on. If you'd like to join, please hit the join button in the video right now. Renee, how are you? You just become a member. Yes, welcome. Yulia, hey Yulia, just become a member. There's quite a few new members. Yes. London leader. London supported me when I was talking to 4 pieces of wall 2.5 years ago. And every now and then, even though he was able to land a job offer, he was also one of my VIP coaching member. He still comes back. I love it. I love it. Thank you, sir. You have decoded recruiting for, is that what they're called now? Tamang? What? How do you, I can't even pronounce it. I cannot even pronounce that. Decoded. Yulia says, thank you for what you're doing. Your videos are so helpful. I'm going through the loop. Okay, awesome. I'm going through the loop interview for QA level 6 position at Amazon People Engine. Awesome. My recruiter says there will be no coding puzzles, like find the longest. Okay. I'm not sure if I can believe it because my research says otherwise. Coding interview for QA is typical. That is true. Usually, all of the QA position requires some type of coding or some type of assessment. For example, some of the QA, at least when I was in consumer, one of the question is solving a tic-tac-toe problem or creating test cases and scenario. I have never heard of a QA that doesn't have coding interview or coding assessment. Okay. So whatever the recruiter says, he or she may be correct. It's just that based on my experience, I have not heard of that before. But you know what? Your recruiter knows best. Maybe that team is a little bit different. The challenge I have the challenge. The questions I have for you, Yulia, is if I were you, I would go to the recruiter and I would simply ask your recruiter what part of this role contains technical, okay? Because when you do that, your recruiter should be able to give you some information. Let's just assume that even if this person is new, they should be able to go and leverage the hiring manager, come back to give you more detail regarding the role and the scope of the position. All right? Hey, Kathy. Good to see you, Kathy. RG, I have my phone interview for vendor managed role in Amazon. Any suggestion or tip? That is literally every single thing that we talk about, RG. Um, I'm assuming that you have some type of operation or logistic background. Okay. So the example that you're giving should be all relating to operation or operational the org. Okay. The type of question, yes, they're all the same, but the way how you phrase your answer should be very close to the industry or the org that they interview for. Hence why Amazon, when people ask you that questions, hint, hint, talk about your operation background. What was the biggest initiative that you're able to deliver? Okay. That's what they want to hear. Ghost Rider. Budapest. All right, Ghost Rider. I wish I was in Budapest. I envy you being in Budapest. Yes. Reed says yes. Brad says yes. Purple says yes. Penny, hello, Penny says yes. Aisha says yes. Yes, really, yes. Go planning for 2022, guys. Okay, go check it out. Please, at the bare minimum, invest $20 to $40 on Amazon and get the 90-day law of attraction planner because you really need to take a moment. Unless you want to do it, just saves you time. When people spend money to buy something, a course or a book or something, it's saving you time. Sure, you could do it yourself. It's $20. Just do it when it, by the way, it could be at your door in 2 hours. Amazon like Prime delivery in 2 hours, okay, or overnight for free, guys. Okay, take the time, take your sweet time, carve it out. If you don't have the patience with yourself, how do you expect the employer to patient with you? Sharon, you become a member. Awesome. Tanya says no, working on it. Awesome, Tanya. Let me know if you guys get stuck in planning your goal or goal setting. I'm more than happy to just walk you through and focus on the specific. Inquilab, hello. Look at you. I love seeing my VIP members in the house. My executives are in the house. What's going on? The girl's on fire. All right. Yes, there you go. Some Happy New Year firework, even though if it's a little bit crooked for you guys. Let me fix this. The thing about live stream, you can never get it right. Something will go wrong, but the whole point is I'm still here and you can hear me. Let's continue with Q&A. Welcome, Mr. Ansari. Go says, story for a time I took a risk. Oh, I really love this question. Right here. Okay? I love this. How about we play a little game today, guys? How about if you all can give me in a brief, short, the quickest, humanly quickest possible short paragraph because YouTube will only let you put 200 characters. Do the best that you can, okay? Tell me about a time where you took risk. What is that? What was your story? What was the risk that you decided to take for your customer? Be very specific who you're delivering it to. Who's your customer? What problem are you solving for them? And what was your result? I am dying to read this. Who is brave enough to share their story for me to review it? I'm happy to do it for you right here. Excellent question, Ghost. Reed says, Canadian here. I have a technical assessment tomorrow for an SDE position. I was literally just talking about coding assessment. Any advice on work style survey? Thank you. Reed, in full transparency, the time that I was at Amazon, which is about 3 years ish, 4 years ago, because my son's 4 now. 4 years ago, there were no survey with work style. So there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to work style. They want to see if you're a culture fit. Meaning, if you look at the questions, don't respond right away, but really read. I'm assuming they're all multiple choice. Really look, evaluate it carefully. Don't lie and don't cheat, which is why no one can really help you. It has to come from you, right? It is not a trick questions. And I've seen some of those questions from my VIP members. You have to answer it truthfully in how you're able to tackle the workplace, the cultures, the fast-paced environment. If, in an event where you are, you like taking risks. What we literally just answered earlier, a story of a time that you took risks. So it's very similar to those type of scenario or activity, even though that's not the exact questions. They wanted to see how you behave. Do you think fast enough on your feet? Are you able to take risk? Are you scrappy? That's an Amazon culture. Are you scrappy? Scrappy meaning, are you able to just reinvent the wheel if it's needed? Okay? Amazon is not the type of company where you come in, you sit down, you follow a process. It doesn't exist. In fact, because Amazon have thousands of different projects, teams, products, and services, every single one of them, even though they have an interview process, for example, there's some changes within them. Okay? The difference between that, like a Google, for example, Google's process is perfect because they use the same process. They're so streamlined for the last 30 years and it hasn't changed. And then Amazon is an environment where there's constant changes to be just a pandemic alone. They changed the way how they scale the candidate pipeline now with an online assessment. Okay. So I would say read, be amazing, be yourself. You want the employer to hire you for you at the end of the day as well. And I highly recommend that you go and check out Glassdoor because the online assessment part for SDE is all over Glassdoor. Subsuhit. Your videos have helped me. Awesome! Yes, job offer. Your videos have helped me land a PMT role with AWS Org last week. Just wanted to thank you for an awesome and helpful work that you do. Thank you so much for coming in here and sharing that with the community. I'm telling you guys, you can get a job with Amazon and all these FAANG company for free, but you need to do some serious amount of work. And I ain't joking. I'm not joking. I know that when I mention certain things, you guys roll your eyes because it sounds boring. No one wants to. Why do I need to redo my resume, Holly? I have a job interview. Well, here's the thing, guys. If you don't focus on your branding, do you actually know what the ROI is on your answer? So if you're going to provide your answer, okay, without your return on investment, it doesn't demonstrate your scope or your scale as a fit to the level you're interviewing for. Even at a level five, a mid level position, you should be able to have some type of business impact that's so clear of what you're solving for. But at a level six, you should be able to ace the interview with flying colors with very minimal to no hint. Okay? Because there's no such thing as a perfect candidate. But at the end of the day, you still have to be able to answer those questions. Yeah? Tesla, yes, Tesla. Congratulations again, my friend. Oh, this is a good question from Yulia. Yulia says, for customer obsession, is it okay to tell a story how I helped just one customer, although it was not actually my job, or have to find a bigger scale? Well, let me redefine for more clarity of your questions, Yulia. When you say one customer, what are we talking about? If your customer is helping a company, then yes, it's amazing. But if you're helping that one person, what exactly is it? Okay. Remember, the way we ask questions and our answer have to be extremely specific, so I would need more meat to know what that means. For instance, when I say bigger scale, my definition of scale and your definition could be complete different thing. Okay? My large scale or bigger scale is global execution. Or, where you put a roadmap or strategies to help your customer generate $1 million. For example, in sales, in revenue, in a go-to-market strategies, or whatever that may be. That's what I call scale. Okay? You don't have to help the entire company. The perfect thing is aligning it to a customer, but you have to be very clear, who are you servicing? Okay? How is your New Year's, Tanya? Suvik, hey Suvik. Suvik says, I have a software QA interviewed. All right. With Apple. Yes, yes, yes. Apple. Love it. I'm focusing on customer obsession LP. Like you mentioned, what is Apple hiring cycle like if they like me? A pie. I love it. The man gives me coffee and a piece of pie, a piece of cake. I have to answer his question now. Sufik, that's an excellent question. Apple's interview process, in a lot of the ways, is very similar to Amazon. The speed is actually really fast, and you all know that um, when it comes to your candidate experience and how fast from the moment you interview until the moment you land an offer has everything to do with how good your recruiter is. Okay, I repeat, it has everything to do with how good your recruiter is, because that person have to be the messenger, the liaison between you, the candidate, the scheduler, the recruiting coordinator, and also the hiring team, managing everyone in the hiring team, pushing them to put the feedback in so they can move you forward to the final loop, right? Now that you're in the loop, quickly schedule or gathering a debrief together, and then the feedback as well. So I think the difference between Apple and Amazon, I think Apple is a lot faster when it comes to offer approval because you don't have to have a chain of command. That's just my experience, and I still have a lot of friends who works at Apple as well. That's the difference between the two. But I think when it comes to like the scope, the work, for QA, for software QA, the type of work that you'll be doing on Apple should be also very similar, and the bar is really similar to like an Amazon. Apple is has a lot of common denominator, which is they're looking for smart. They're looking for someone that think really fast. Okay. In fact, I almost want to say I don't know any Apple employee who doesn't think fast, because they talk really quick, right? They're always on their feet, so a lot of the culture with the Apple environment can be very similar to the Amazon culture. I hope that answered your question. At the end of the day, they still need to know what problem you're solving. Apple really focus on your scalability. What have you done? Amazon focus on all of the above. Are you smart? Are you productive? What have you done? Are you willing to learn? Like the laundry list goes on. Apple, if I have to pinpoint anything, you of course you have to demonstrate what have you done clearly. Are you a good communicator? Because Apple is a huge communicating organization through email. I don't know if they do in person meetings anymore. We're still in a pandemic, but it is also a very fast environment. Okay. If you guys focus on all of your answer around customer obsession, you just can't go wrong, right? Let me know if that makes sense. Say yes, customer obsession, or just customer obsession. Marzin, welcome, Marzin. London, yes, I agree with you. Shut out all negative. Yes, yes. So good to see you, London. Oh, I like this. I like this. Okay, Ghostwriter says, you guys got story for me? I'm happy to review them. And if you are already in my VIP coaching, you don't have to drop it in here. I will see you in the office hour tomorrow. Yes, Lynn. How are you? All right, Ghostwriter. For a senior TAM, by the way, means technical account manager. The TAM role is very similar to a solution architect. The difference between TAM and solution architect, or SA, is that the SA dive very deep into the data center infrastructure. The TAM needs to know the knowledge foundation, or AWS services. Okay. Can I use a story where I was giving two options for my manager to choose from risky and safe option? Yes. Okay. I hope there is more. Akila, thank you so much for the super chat. Ghost Rider says, "Or I need to use a story where I came up with the option as well." Well, the question I should be asking you is, it depends. It really depends on how good the content you're trying to share with me is. Why don't you give it to me and tell me, and I could evaluate and let you know if it makes sense. Okay, guys, remember what I just said. Put out a sticky note and put specific examples, specific questions to specific example. Okay. Oh, Juan, Juan just became a member. Welcome. Serene says, new here. Thanks for the content. I have a phone interview tomorrow. For the hiring manager for a backbone network developer role. Watch all your videos and prepare. Wish me luck. Awesome. Best of luck to you. You are going to gain a phenomenal amount of experiences working at Amazon, which is why the way how I prepped in all of my courses, I have my digital interview star accelerator digital course and I have my VIP coaching. I don't just talk about the LP at all, actually. I talk about the philosophy of the leadership principle and how you should hone in into that. That is what a lot of all these companies are evaluating, right? Everyone have their own versions of customer centric, of moving fast, right? Bias for action, same thing, right? Same thing, different company. If you missed my talk with John Marty last week when we tag team and did a fire chat about salary, we both share our experiences at Amazon. I also shared why I left Google as well as Facebook as well. So go check out that video. It's really raw 100%. We were sharing a lot of things. Let's just put it that way, okay? And you can hear the difference between the culture and environment more on the tech side and also on the non-tech experiences as well. Oh, okay, this is interesting, Juan. Hua, if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Should we apply for more than one FAANG company at the time? Why not? Okay. Here's the thing. I will not recommend you to apply to any job. I would rather you network and reach out to potential hiring manager in those company versus applying to it because if you're an engineer, okay, or any kind of tech at all, any AWS, any cloud, any infrastructure, any data center, if you code, right? If you're a product person, the market is so hot where they're getting about 1 million applicants for every single job. I say that with confidence because last year when I was hanging out with a group of executive, Apple was there, Tesla was there, Disney was there, Google was there, and I believe it was a Google guy who said the Google executive that says, "Yeah, we have over 1 million applicants in every single job." And even with Disney, yep, quite a high. The number is very high. So the odd of the recruiters reaching out to you, your resume and your branding Juan has to be phenomenal. Okay. And oh, let me fix that. And that also remind me if you guys are interested, this is a discount link to my branding. It's not just for my resume accelerator, but you're paying for the price of one and you're getting also my LinkedIn accelerator because they go piggyback back and back together. Why? Because you need your resume to hit those keywords to get found. You need your LinkedIn because the first thing the hiring managers will do is quickly look at your LinkedIn profile, right? And now comes the interview. They're not going to open up an attachment for your resume. Everyone is relying on LinkedIn now. In fact, there's over 700,000 users on LinkedIn, and 80% of those are in a hiring authority position, which means with the management position title of having job openings. Okay. So that is the branding link for you guys who is here with me today. Now I can't go back. Now that I'm here, I can't go back. Alrighty. Tiger Bear. Hello, Tiger Bear. You remind me of Bear in the Wild who's been with me for a while. This is not the same bear, right? Alrighty. Welcome. Mazin, thank you so much. Great content all around. Just join. We're happy that you're here. Solution architect. All right. Our solution architects manage people as well, or individual contributors. I found that they get paid a bit less than engineering managers. Does this make sense to you? You know what, my friend, nothing makes sense to me. Does that answer your question? Nothing makes sense to me. Why do you think I quit my job? Because nothing makes sense to me. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I just said. Okay. I don't know why I haven't checked or looked at the salary of the comp information from SA from engineering, but the bottom line is they should be very very similar. If not, engineering makes more. But I think when it comes to the amount of work the intensity and what you guys are building and doing, it's almost as in you're not coding in Java or anything like that or programming and solving problem, but you're dealing with systems level infrastructure. But I think that they are being they they are lacking the love when it comes to compensation. That's just my take. So the SA position is one of the toughest position to land at Amazon specifically because they're looking for a kind of a blend of you're an engineer but not really. Okay? But you're a platform engineer which is a data center engineer but not really. You see where I'm going? You're a cloud engineer but no, you do more than that. So I feel like they're looking for five body in one for the SA role, which is why I think you should be paying more or at least the same level as an engineer because you need to know every single thing when it comes to the infrastructure, how to design the entire infrastructure, how to scale it, how to build, how to make it faster. For example, as an SA, the type of question that I would be asking you is if you're interviewing at Meta Facebook, for instance, okay? How do you build the infrastructure for Facebook.com? Right? And if you're doing it for AWS, can you design AWS? That's it. I'm done. And now it's up to you to ask me a bunch of probing questions as to what is it new, is it scaling, where is it for, where is it going to host, so on and so forth. So you need to be extremely knowledgeable when it comes to data center experience around that. And many of these folks have hybrid cloud or cloud experience going into it. And if you don't have that, it's very hard to get a job in AWS as an SA. Okay. And I'm only sharing this because I do have a few in my VIP coaching, which is right here in my VIP coaching, where if they don't make an SA bar, they would be offered a level 6 TAM. That's why I made the comment earlier that the TAM, the technical account manager, is very similar to an SA. They just don't dive deep in creating the infrastructure. Rather, they have to know the foundation and have a strong knowledge base on what the AWS services are, all of the services. Okay, alrighty. Mazin, let me know if you have other question. Joey Star, SA manager, manage people, the rest are ICs. Yep, managers in general manage people. SA is an IC role unless you are a manager for SA. And some manager have SA reporting to them. But in general, managers don't really make a whole lot of money. Mazin, you need to watch last week's salary talk that I did in the last live stream. The timestamp are on there for you, my friend. Okay. John and I talked so much about being a people manager where we don't want to manage people because we feel like we're an IC. We have to do everything that our IC are doing. And then we have to be people managers. And then we have to make sure we support our staff. We make sure our stakeholder, which is a lot of the executive, are happy with us. And then we have like the candidates, like you guys, right? Or in my case, like you guys. So they're just more people to please, more responsibility. You get paid the same as an IC, or maybe like a tiny little bit more, but at time, depending on the IC, a lot of the individual contributor makes more than their manager. And this is not just at Amazon, this is across all of the companies. Okay. Don't think that you will make more money being a manager. You really don't. That's not true. Tiger. I have an interview lined up at Amazon. Should I still be applying to other position at Amazon? Will my current recruiter know if I do? Of course they would. Everything that you do, every movement that you do at Amazon, at all these employers, they can see it. Okay? Because if I put your first and last name in the system, it's called dupe check. It will track all of your history, how many position you apply to, who you talk to. From the moment the recruiter sent you an email, it also gets tracked. Yes, indeed, professional. Okay. So be careful with the type of message that you are messaging your recruiter as well. Okay. Thought I should mention that. Alrighty. I will not apply to more jobs when you already have an interview pending. Put yourself in a hiring manager's perspective, right? If I'm the hiring manager, you're interviewing with me, I'm so excited. I want to hire someone like you. And then the recruiter tells me, wow, this person went and apply to more job. Okay, now the process just got longer. And if you don't meet the bar for one team, you're not going to meet the bar for another team anyway. And the offer, let's just say you end up getting an offer with multiple team, the number is still the same, so it hasn't really changed at all. Kathy says, my company was being challenged by regulatory agencies, but I was able to convince them that we could simplify policies from 137 pages to 25. Wow, that's awesome, Kathy. Now I wanted to hear how you're able to do that. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Kathy. Black Liz. Hello, Black Liz. Welcome back, Black Liz. I recently established the ops strategy for a small business that was 18 months into a project with no documentation. I identified 174 processes and created the core 38 processes to get it to go live. Awesome! Dang, this is really good. Very good, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing example. Doug, hello, Doug. Long time. How are you, Doug? With all the hard recruiting going on, there seem to be a lot of opportunities from unicorn startup to this is Doug's interpretation. He says F-Tang. I have F-Tang, I have Mang, I have all kinds of acronym in here. Any tips on prioritizing companies? No, there's no tip in prioritizing company. It's more so on who you want to work for. So why not make it all a priority, right? Why put all your eggs in one basket? I would do it all. But before you do that, Doug, you need to make sure to tell yourself that you need to be one, guys, you have to be interview ready before you take an interview. By the time you land an interview and then you talk about getting interview help, it may be too late. Okay. There's a lot of VIP coaching member right here in the live chat right now, and they're still coming back to support me. The community is very special because everyone truly is going through the same journey, and they all know if anyone can coach individuals that doesn't come from high tech companies and able to get a job within an hour, more kudos to them because I have not been able to do that. I haven't. And I haven't. I've had folks from even from Amazon to Microsoft. They work with me for even a few months because the longer you are with an employer, the harder it takes for you to really acknowledge everything that you've done. But how are you supposed to deliver that and deliver it, tying it into the position, your next adventure that is relevant to the employer? How are you supposed to do that? Okay, sure, you can get a job. Do you want to make this much money or do you want to make this much money? I rest my case. Okay, so do not go applying to job and try to land an interview when you are not ready to get the job. It looks really bad if you keep on pushing the employer a month out, 2 months out. Okay? Rather than doing it, that's why I spend the first 10 minutes to talk about goal setting. Be good to yourself. Be very, very good to yourself. Ah, yes, Lynn. Yeslin says, Holly helped me navigate to heart desire. I have no fear to say no job offer that does not align with my dream career, not just a paycheck. It's cheers. It is. I mean, don't and guys, don't settle. I know a lot of you guys want to work for FAANG. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with FAANG. FAANG startup, the reason that you don't like being at a startup environment or a non-FAANG and a FAANG, let me tell you, the problem is still going to be there. Why, guys? Because the people you don't like in your non-FAANG company could might as well be following you to the FAANG company, okay? Because I personally have quit my job before or transferred to different team, and the people that I don't see eye to eye with or, a better team culture or dynamic, behold, we are in the same team all over again. So it doesn't matter. The world is a lot smaller than you think. The bottom line is you need to find the right culture. The right company is one thing, the right team, okay? The right team culture, it's another thing, and the right manager, okay? Those three things. Because even if your manager and your team transfer to different organization or leave the company, guess what? They will call you. They will locate you. Okay. And they would want to hire you, right? All right. RG, can you review? Tell me about myself. I have 8 years of working experience in managing customer relationship and portfolio of high net worth clients. What does that mean? Be more specific. What does high net worth means to you? And when you talk about managing customer relationship and portfolio, what industry are we talking about? So this is what I mean. Be very specific, okay? My key expertise lies in business development, customer negotiation, data analytics, and marketing research across e-commerce, marketing, and banking institute. But what is your ROI? You didn't mention anything about your ROI, RG. Okay, so if I were you, I would simply just say I have over 8 years of experience. Um, what is your position? Um, okay, let me just reword all of that because it seems like it's two different part. I have over 8 years of experience as a business development manager, where my strength is on customer negotiation, data analytics, and market research across e-commerce clients, such as whom, where I was able to help my company generate how much. Period. That's it. You're done. Okay. If someone asks you, so tell me a little bit more about yourself, you give them a high level overview of you. By your don't tell them, I was born in, ABC country and I moved. No, because a lot of the folks do come off that way. Remember, the attention span of the interviewer is 5 second now. It was 10 second before 2019. And then it went to 8 second during the pandemic. And now, I don't know if you guys follow the blogs and news. I do. It's about 5 second now. For me, within the first 5-10 second, I pretty much know if you're going to get the job or if you don't. And if you ever land in my VIP coaching, which is right here, even within the first minute, I already knew right off the bat if you're going to get hired or if you're not, which is why in general I don't recommend people to just have a quick win. You can't have a quick win, okay? Because if you guys are listening to anything that I've just said, it requires some serious work because I focus on FAANG people, okay? And they don't joke around. They want and expect you to be able to tell them, and you're going to train them with your answer, what you're good fit for, what level, and then we're going to talk about compensations because you want to knock their socks off, knowing that they're so excited and they can see you solving their growing pain in their team. If this is the hiring manager, that mentally they're ready to hire you. Okay. A lot of the times when you're interviewing, how many people in here are people manager? Give me a show of hands. Just say, people manager. The people manager know what I'm talking about. When you're interviewing a candidate, just within the first 1 minute, okay, you know if you're going to like someone or not. Within the first 2 minutes, that's a lot, by the way, you know if that person is really a fit. So when someone is diving deep and asking you probing questions, you can tell by the tone and the type of question they're asking you if you're going to get the job pretty much, right? So a lot of you are asking me, Holly, I don't know, I'm bummed out. I don't know why I didn't get the position. If you really look back, what type of questions are they asking you? And what was your answer? Okay. And their follow-up questions is critical because if someone wants to learn more about you, they should ask follow-up questions versus re-asking the same questions in different ways, meaning that you are not able to provide them with the example they're looking for. Right? Yulia says, I told someone that I work for XYZ and they said they use it and have an issue. I'm a QA and customer support is my direct responsibility. If you're doing customer support and you're not a tester, then there shouldn't be any coding at all. Okay, there's a big difference between QA specialist and QA engineer. The QA engineer or QA tester is what I was referring to. That you have to know what test cases and scenario are. But if you're not, then you don't need to. RG. All right. RG is coming back for more. And RG says, see, and this is why member mode is on. So I'm able to just focus and slow down on answering your questions. Normally, when I have a guest on my show, I don't do that. It's just for the public and there's just a lot of message coming in. I wanted to take my time and not being able to rush through. RG. In my current role at XYZ company, I am responsible for generating business and providing financial solution. Yes, to my key customers. By the way, who are your key customers? Who increased my portfolio value from 250 to 350 in 6 months' time. Awesome! Yay! Yes, yes, excellent. Very, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful written. Beautiful, RG. In my previous role, I started my own retail business and expanded it as a prime seller to e-commerce platform like Amazon in India. Wow, that's amazing! And recognized as top seller for South Indian zone for my brand ABC. Excellent. I like it. You see the difference between the two with the two RG? Do you see what I mean? Do you guys hear what I mean by specific? Get to the point quickly. They don't care about anything else. They just want to care about the meat. Who, what, when, and how, get to it quickly. Really nice job, RG. Congratulations. Blacklist says, Ick, I missed the queue format. It's okay. It's okay. Shirin says, what other leadership principle would you add to the existing one? What would be number 17? Oh, I like that. Let's play a game. I like this. All right. Let's play a game, everyone. If you were to add a leadership principle number 17, what would you add? I literally just read this question, so let me think for a second there. I would love to hear your answer. Which leadership principle would you add? Let me just do this. So, which leadership principle, number 17, if you can add to the Amazon leadership principle or any company, what would that be? Leave it in the chat. Let me see here. You know what? Yes, I have one. I would say diversity and inclusion. Diversity. I know equality. No, diversity. You know what? Just diversity. That word, that one word. Okay. I feel like even though a lot of companies in all different sizes have their training. I was a trainer at Amazon as well for managing bias, right? For everything's relating to interview. A lot of the company have those courses because not everyone follows the rule. There's unconscious bias, sometimes the things that people say without even thinking about it. Okay? That's different time, different story. But I would love to see an organization brave enough to put the word diversity as a core value and actually preach what they have on there. Meaning, if let's just say Amazon, I'm picking on Amazon because the topic is Amazon today. I'm literally wearing an Amazon developer shirt. But let's just say Amazon, for example, okay, as an employer, if Amazon has a leadership principle called diversity, I better be seeing a lot of women in leadership. Women in leadership, okay? I better be seeing a lot of leader that isn't born and raised in the US. I better be seeing a lot of folks who are, for example, over the age of 50 in leadership, okay? And diversity have a lot of different categories, okay? I don't want to tell you all the 5 different categories. You can just Google search that. But basically, I want to see a blend of things. I don't want to see the same type of people on in leadership. So for someone like me who is diverse, who's over the age of 40, right? you know, who's single parents and all of this stuff. So I feel like I don't know a lot of someone like me as leadership. I don't know. In fact, I don't know any. I don't know any at all. Especially in recruiting, I know none. None, no one from these big companies, right? So diversity is dear to me in the heart. I'm super passionate about it. If someone were to ask me, I would say diverse, and here's why, because I am one. I don't see that, and sometimes it feels kind of lonely that you want someone to have your back or you want to work for leaders because you believe in the philosophy of the team culture that they're building. You want to be on that team, right? I feel like all these companies are missing that. But just to share a little bit more, and please be patient with me for the next minute, it's highly important. At Amazon, I'm proud to say that I was the only recruiting leader who has a team of Asian, African American, Mexican, Caucasian, over the age of 40s, even 50s, right? I have all of it. Those were my team. At Facebook, I was the only diversity or the most diverse recruiting leader because literally I have what I just mentioned, the same thing in every company I go because I live and preach and really big and passionate about giving people opportunity to shine and setting them up. Setting them up, I'm talking about goal setting again. How ironic is today's topic is because I think that a lot of my customer who comes to me, by the way, my cohort is 100% diversity. 100%. Everything that I just preached to you just now, that is a VIP coaching, okay? Because I feel relatable to them. I feel like whatever journey that you're going through, I can relate to you, and everyone in the cohort can relate to you as well. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Oh, this is fun. Okay. What would it be? What would it be for you guys? Leadership over 50. Okay, woman in leadership. Yes, diversity. Can we please say diversity in here? Okay? Yes, diversity. What do you mean by please no diversity? Read Vu. Mhm. Yep. All righty. Go ahead, jot them down. I wanted to know what your leadership principle is. Should you pick one, even for your own company? What would that be? Yulia says, I have practiced my story for about 20 to 30 times and try them on on other companies. Smart though. You are practicing. You're getting practice from other company. Wink wink. But I think I still sound unnatural. Is it typical? Is it because more practice needed? It's very common, Yulia, okay? I recommend it at least 50 times, 50 to 100 times. Yes, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. My very first YouTube video is called the 60-second elevator pitch, which is pretty horrible because I had no clue how to film. I couldn't get the content that I want to say out of the way. I'm going to do a remake of that for 2022, a better version. But you need to at least do it at a bare minimum 50 times. You need to stare at the mirror because the mirror you can see your own reflections, right? And your body language and your gesture. Do it in front of the mirror at least 50 times. When you're more comfortable, you will add in your tone. Your tone changes, right? You don't want the monotone. People will fall asleep. You don't want to be too hyper. You don't want to be over energized or under energized. So you will learn how to adjust once you remember the content of your answer. Okay? Go check out the 60-second elevator pitch and forgive me for the video quality. It is a practice journey. Okay? It's okay. The job will always be there. It's not going anywhere for you. Blacklist. Glad to see participation from all. Holly's coursework. She is spot on with the interview process. You get what you put in, prepare your stories, and practice. Thank you, Blacklist. Um, Yulia says Amazon reached out to me on email, phone, and LinkedIn, different roles and location. If you have multiple recruiter reaching out to you, which they're not supposed to, because you don't want to exactly give a candidate too much option, like different position, different location, does that really confuse the candidate? What Amazon should have done is when they reach out to you, is to schedule a quick recruiter screen, a recruiter call to find out what your ideal role is and what geography you want to be, rather than tagging you into all these different roles. Hey, that's what I would have done in recruiting. They're not desperate, Yulia. That means you must be pretty good with your branding. Congratulations, by the way, if you're getting reach out left and right from FAANG companies. Yes, Juan, if you're interviewing for level 7, you better be ready with those stories. Extreme conciseness. I highly recommend, especially for that level, you cannot talk for more than a minute. 45-second is top, okay? If you talk more than a minute, the higher level of the interviewer, I'm assuming level 7 and 8, your bar racer is most likely going to be a director, okay? They have no patience. Let's be real here. How many executive do you know that has patience? How many? Do you remember grabbing coffee with your execs or your skip level? No, right? Because they have things to do, places to go, people to talk about. Even if they don't, they just don't have patience. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing at my own clients. Okay, carry on. Nothing ever makes sense. Yes, yes. Reed says, after technical online assessment, how soon do I have a phone interviewed? Behavioral questions. I need some time to prepare for behavioral questions. Well, in any recruiter's process, because they need you to accept the offer quickly so they can keep their job, right? They want to move as quickly as possible. So you need to be able to train your recruiter. Okay. If you pass the online assessment and go to the first phone interviewed, if you're not ready to go to any interview, I would schedule a couple weeks out. Okay. I know there are many, many coaches who just want to like tick, 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 tick clients in and out to interview prep you. The definition of interview prep and career coaching are not the same definition. Interview prep, let me give you an example. By the way, this is what we do. That's your recruiter's job, by the way. Basically, you're paying money for recruiter prep that the recruiter should be doing it for you. So, why are you guys paying money to have someone coach you for that? That's your recruiter's job. Career coaching is different because they actually, or I do, I actually reviewed your answer and do mock and reverse interviewed and teach you how to create your stories. Okay. A lot of people could be saying the same thing, but different styles and different way. So if you don't have the stories to your satisfaction, and you can tell if you look at your phone recording, by the way, how long does it take for you to answer each question? If you cannot answer that, then no. I would say you need at least 3 weeks. I have never been able to help anyone inside the VIP coaching program in less than 3 weeks. 3 weeks is called fast. Okay. And a lot of these folks have not interviewed for 18 years to have failed multiple interviewed, but they're so ambitious where they don't waste any time. It's like bamming, okay? Because as we're talking about career goal setting for 2022, you have to treat this whole process of interview prepped or career transition or career change, however you want to call it, as a full-time job. Once you realize that this is a full-time job, I want you to put in the effort to get from A to Z. Okay? A through Z. That's Amazon, by the way. I'm not copying Amazon, just it came out that way. A to Z, it's Lab 126 research development, by the way. You have to do that because you're not trying to get a job at some startup or nonprofit. You're trying to get a job at these big company. They're FAANG. FAANG, you guys know why they're called FAANG? Is because their company is profitable and they've been doing well a consecutive amount of years. Very steady. Which means what, guys and gals? The bar is high. Okay. All of these employer, they only want to hire the best of the best talents out there. They don't need you to come with all the experiences. They just need you to sound smart with great examples. Okay. Blacklist, blacklist, blacklist. Blacklist says, I signed up for Holly's training course 5 days before my first interview over the holiday break and spent it with family, but a lot of the time allocated to my stories. The interview was great. Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad it helped you because the interview accelerator has a template in there, the questions. I was a trainer for all of these companies. So I basically picked my top 20 plus stories in that template alone is going to save you. Also critiquing and walking you through STAR specifically, what to write in there, and also having tech and non-tech example for you. And the goal is, guys, a lot of my examples are from those who are already at Amazon, Apple, Google, you name it. I think Tesla is the only company that I haven't had anyone. I just don't have anyone that comes to me that wants to get a job at Tesla. I don't know. I don't know why. I think Tesla is a cool company. I love what they're building. So I'm glad I helped, Blacklist. You welcome, Tiger Bear. I'm going to speed things up a little bit. Okay, Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider, risk. Risk, risk, risk. A customer wanted separate low cost billing product. Be specific, my friend. What is this customer? Who are we talking about? I had two proposal ops developed by other org in company which costs costly and lose the business or competitor. I changed the current test architecture, excuse me, scale it and propose as another product. This was risky as meeting timeline would be difficult, rec- require me to learn new things and no help. I choose option two, work over hours, learn new things. Okay, here, let's just pause for 1 second. It's still very, very vague to me. You have to be very clear. I'm not hearing what are you solving for? Why are you solving it? For whom? And what was the risk that you take? Option one or option two, I chose two because of what? Okay. If you know that, for example, if option two is better, then don't mention the first one. Just go straight to the second one because you want to be so greedy with limiting the amount of word that you say, because if you were to try to memorize this part of your, not word by word, of course, but memorize the story, I don't want you to fumble and talk for 5 minutes. So the shorter you can get to it with specific detail, the better it is. Okay. Your second and third sentences, I got lost a little bit in there because you were talking about scaling things for another product. I don't know what the product is, and I don't know why you are solving this problem. Okay. So I would offer more, just be more specific. Curtin, welcome, Curtin. Yes, diversity. I am female Asian like you, but it should be based diversity of thought, intelligence, not gender or ethnicity. Yes, yes. That is why I love the word diversity. It's just that I feel of being in corporate for so long, I see the same type of leadership, the same type of decision maker. I would just like to see really smart, like you said, Reed, intelligent people who have a lot to offer, but also everyone has the same equal amount of voice on the table. Okay. Especially when it comes to promotion or recognitions or anything like that. I like them to have the same level of encouragement and authority on the table. That's really the bottom line of diversity. Diversity, it's also gender and it's everything. I don't know what else unless you guys can think of a better terminology to use it. To join a different team within AWS, if you join for the same reason, don't feel things are not working out or on the team. Huh? What is your question, Mazin? Is it easy to join a different team within AWS if you join for some reason you don't feel things are working? Okay, great. So basically, what you're trying to say is transferring from team to team. Well, here's the thing, it depends on your relationship and your performance. If things are not working out, you can't just switch team right away. You still would have to be with the same team for at least 6 months to a year. And here's why. Even though Amazon now have a rule that you can change team whenever you want, but your current manager will be really upset. Let's just say you don't get along with your peer or whatever that may be. So why are you running away from your problem to go to a different team and not being able to fix it? What if the same thing happened to a different team, right? Because at the end of the day, you're all working under the same umbrella. Let me know if that makes sense. It is easy to transfer to a different team inside Amazon. However, you have to be in good standing. That's the first thing that your new manager will evaluate. Preferably, you have to make it through, and this is why I meant 6 months to a year. They're evaluating your previous performance cycle to see how well you do, and they wanted to see as a manager, are they able to help you make the improvement that's needed? Because every time when we write I almost said OLR, performance review, there's good and then there's areas of improvement, right? So they will evaluate everything. Okay. Tiger says, literally, there's a photo of Tiger. Tiger said, I received the format of my interviewed. I was surprised only SQL and not Python was listed on the technical test. Should I ask the recruiter if Python is going to cover? There's nothing wrong with asking your recruiter. By the way, if you receive the format of your interview, your recruiter should prep you, have a quick call to prep you for the interview. Okay. If not, they should be very specific on writing out in the email format of what is being covered in the role. It is to the best benefit of a recruiter. If you're watching right now, recruiter, it's to your best benefit to invest the time upfront to prep your candidate. Because if your candidate is nervous going in there, they're not going to get the job. Not because you're not qualified, it's because what you don't know to study, and you don't know the expectation. Okay? Dish. Hi, Dish. You became a member. Welcome, Dish. Yep. Mazin says, in reference to diversity, I believe in equality of opportunity, but not in outcome. Quotes are a bad thing. Yes, no, I do agree. I think in every single employer, if you guys notice, even in the job description now, legally they have to put equal opportunity. But I feel like a lot of people do it because to meet compliance, they have to do it. And that's why I just feel like it needs to be one of the core value that they're actually working on equality and equal opportunity across. So probably equal opportunity would be a good leadership principle, right? Think big, act small, move fast. Think big, act small, move fast. Even though I think those are all embedded in Amazon 16, that is true. Mines are just more condensed. That's funny, Blacklist. uh, Dish says, can you give me a good example of what to answer to the question? Tell me about a complex problem you solve with simple solution. Well, I can't give you an answer because I don't know anything about your background to help you. I don't want to give you an answer. I want you to do the best that you can for me to fix your answer. Okay? Because I don't want you to go by my answer when it comes down to your interview. I want you to go really deep. This is an example of going really deep and thinking really big and be as creative as you can. Okay? So if I were you, here's how you start creating uh your your answer. Basically, you're taking something really complex and providing a simple solution. Okay. A lot of the example I have is around the recruitment strategies, but I was a PM as well. I did a lot of PMing for international expansion at Amazon. All my international experience are all at Amazon, by the way. For example, I could tell you about building, hiring for the display and touch team at Kindle about 11 years ago. It was a new technology. Literally 22 people in the world has that. It was a complex technology where there's not a whole lot of talent out there. So rather than being flustered with the complexity of not being able to hire XYZ number of people because there's not a whole lot of people to hire, rather than doing that, I work with my executive team, business leaders, director and L7 at Amazon, to open a remote satellite office in Southeast Asia because that's where a lot of them are being housed. And then eventually have partner with the Shenzhen or China office to work on their immigration so that they can at least have payroll through China. For instance, if they live in Singapore or Hong Kong, so on and so forth. So I created a really simple solution where my team is not being flustered and stressed out that we can't locate them in the US. Why, when we can have a satellite office right there for them where they're not leaving their families behind as well, and they still get a chance to do what they love. Okay, like that. But I'm literally making this up on the fly as I'm going. But you have to think about on top of your head, how do you turn something complicated into something that makes sense? That's it. How do you solve the problem? It was very clear the problem that I was solving, right? It was very clear that you can feel the complexity that there's from no talent to building a team and putting them at a location that no one really think about doing it. By the way, I was the first person to build a satellite office in Singapore for Amazon. That was a long time ago. Alrighty. Curtin. Hey, Curtin. Your advice and videos are fantastic. I find that everything you say is strongly accurate. Well, thank you so much. Oh, Purple. I really love that. You want leadership principle number 17 to be hold compassion for your coworkers. Yeah, I like that. I actually really, really like that, Purple. Let's just say compassion, empathy. Either empathy or compassion as an LP. That would be awesome. For the backbone network developer role, what kind of first interview should I expect? The same thing as any other first phone interview is you need to have the foundation for the role. Okay. I don't think this position is on Glassdoor at all, or the type of questions is really similar. And first, you need to look at what the tech skill is calling for. It's right in the job description, and you need to be able to leverage your recruiter. If your recruiter can't give you an answer, it's really their job to figure out exactly what you will be doing with through the hiring manager. So before you take the first initial technical phone interviewed, I would ask the recruiter, can you please tell me exactly what the scope of the project for this role is? Okay, guys and gals, make sure you seek to understand before you take an interview. Don't take an interview just to take an interview and then figure it out. You do that after you get the job, by the way. You have to get the job first. Okay? Kirk says, what does it mean if Amazon does not give you a phone interview and jump right into a video interview? Well, Curtin, that means you're amazing. That means you're good. That means you're good. Your background looks really well, and they don't want to waste time. They just want to move quick. It's a good thing. Oh, I like this. Red says leadership principle number 17, work life harmony. Oh, that's cool. Never heard of that one. Awesome. You welcome, Archie. Mazin says if the role you are applying for is L6, but you have deep experience and you impress outstanding across the board of the group, is there room to bump into an L7 if you ask? First of all, Mazin, if you are a better fit for an L7, you should never ask. The interviewer, the bar raiser, and the hiring manager would call it out during the debrief. Okay. For example, if multiple people says, wow, he's being evaluated at a level 6, but I think his scope, his scales, his example, and the way how he deliver on the things that you deliver, it's at a level 7 or a principal. Maybe we should consider making him a level 7. Then yes, okay. It's really rare of being sad in thousands and thousands of debrief. I have only seen one case where a level 6 could be a better fit as a level 7. One out of a couple thousand. Okay. Actually, a couple thousand is a low number. All right, wrapping this up. Guys, thank you so much for spending, before I wrap it up, to spend today with me. All the new member, Curtin, Mazin, Juan, Reedvu, that is. Tiger Bear, welcome back. A lot of the new member, thank you so much for coming and supporting my work. And by the way, if you guys are truly new, don't forget to hit the like button in the video. When you do, it really does help the algorithm on YouTube to ping everyone to let them know that I'm running a live coaching session when I live stream, okay? I'm here every single Tuesday at 12:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I will work on putting out a career goal planning video for you with a lot of instruction, also including the 2 link, including the 90-day law of attraction planner, which I can't stop thinking about it because I think that's pretty cool and awesome, right? How awesome is that? Remember, guys, the universe can hear you and can feel you. You need to be good to yourself. You need to tell yourself and be honest and be vulnerable with yourself. Are you ready? You asked for a job. You want to work for Amazon, all of the Amazon company in the world, but are you ready for it? You know you're ready for it by the amount of hard work you're willing to put in to get there.